Ford Yi had been married to my beautiful wife, Sarah, for 5 years, and we had a wonderful life together. We had a beautiful home, great jobs, and we were planning on starting a family soon. But all of that changed when I caught her cheating on me. I came home early from work one day to surprise Sarah with dinner, but what I saw was a surprise that I could never have expected. As I walked into our bedroom, I saw Sarah in bed with another man. I was shocked and furious. I couldn't believe that she would do something like this to me. I confronted her, and at first she denied everything. But when I showed her the evidence that I had gathered, she broke down and confessed. She told me that she had been seeing this man named Michael for several months. She said that she was sorry and that she still loved me, but I couldn't forgive her. I was devastated. I loved Sarah with all my heart, and I thought that our marriage was strong. But now I didn't know what to do. I couldn't just let this go, and I didn't want to give up on our marriage. So I came up with a plan. I decided to confront Michael and end his marriage. I wanted to make him feel the pain that I was feeling. I started to gather information about him, and I found out that he was married with 2 children. He had a wife named Lisa, who was a stay-at-home mom, and they had been married for 10 years. I knew that Lisa was innocent in all of this, but I couldn't let Michael get away with what he had done. I started to follow him, and I found out that he had a routine. He would leave work at 5 p.m. and head straight to a local bar. He would stay there until about 7 p.m., and then he would go home. One evening, I decided to confront him at the bar. I walked up to him and introduced myself. I could see the fear in his eyes when he realized who I was. I told him that I knew about his affair with my wife and that I was going to end his marriage. Michael begged me not to do anything, but I wasn't listening. I had already made up my mind. I followed him home that night, and I waited outside his house. I could hear Lisa and the kids inside. I knew that I was about to destroy their lives, but I didn't care. Finally, Michael came home, and I walked up to him. I told him that I was going to tell Lisa everything, and he started to plead with me. But it was too late. I knocked on the door and told Lisa the truth about her husband's affair. She was devastated. She started to cry, and the kids came running over to her. I could see the pain in her eyes, and I felt the pain of guilt. But I knew that what I had done was the right thing. I left their house feeling satisfied, but also empty. I had destroyed a family, and I didn't know how to feel about it. I went home and tried to talk to Sarah, but she didn't want to hear it. She told me that she couldn't be with someone who would do something like that. We got a divorce, and I haven't seen Sarah since. But I still think about her every day. I wonder if I made the right decision. I wonder if I could have saved our marriage if I had just let it go. But then I remember the pain that I felt when I caught her cheating, and I know that I did the right thing. As for Michael and Lisa, they got a divorce soon after I confronted them. I heard from a mutual friend that Lisa couldn't forgive Michael for his infidelity, and they decided to end their marriage. It wasn't the outcome that I wanted, but I knew that it was the consequence of Michael's actions. I tried to make amends with Lisa and offered her support, but she didn't want anything to do with me. I understood her anger and frustration towards me. I was the reason her marriage had fallen apart, and I couldn't take it back. After that experience, I realized that revenge doesn't bring closure or satisfaction. It only creates more pain and chaos. I learned that the best way to deal with betrayal is to confront it and then let it go. It's not easy, but it's the only way to move forward. I started to focus on myself and my healing process. I went to therapy, traveled, and spent time with my family and friends. I even started to date again and met someone who I connected with deeply. She understood my past and supported me through my healing process. Looking back at that difficult time in my life, I realized that it taught me a valuable lesson. Betrayal hurts, but it's not the end of the world. You can survive it, and you can move on. It takes time and patience, but you can find happiness and love again. In conclusion, catching my wife cheating on me was one of the most painful experiences of my life. That it also taught me a valuable lesson about forgiveness, revenge, and healing. I don't regret confronting Michael and ending his marriage, but I do regret the pain that it caused Lisa and her family. I hope that they were able to find peace and move forward in their own way. As for me, I have moved on and found happiness again. I will always remember the lessons that I learned from that experience, and I will never forget the pain of betrayal.